So the main point for this application, I decided to do something about it when I was on a robotics team last year and I had to learn how to self-code through C++. I had to self-study and it was extremely challenging for me. And that's why I decided to make this application. Um, so this is the flowchart of how the program works. Go through a login page that we made through Firebase. And then if you don't have an account, it'll send you through sign up and then it'll store all your information and it'll store all your messages and lessons and text, which is all included in the app. So the problems and motivations, like I said earlier, self-studying was a very difficult issue, and programming is something really essential that pretty much everyone uses today, but it's still extremely hard to practice and execute. There are a lot of methods like textbooks or just regular tutorials or even YouTube, but those I feel that those usually they struggle to keep people engaged or provide good feedback. And there are recent surveys that 60% or more of beginner programmers, they usually report frustration and dropout within the first few months of learning, since there is a lack of clear guidance and support. And this challenge usually affects students in secondary and post-secondary education, but this also affects hobbyists, people who do this as a career, and people who want to do this as a career. And the big downside is that there's a continually growing skill gap, and this causes employers to report a shortage of applicants, which is part of where the issue of low jobs for software engineers come in. And without accessible tools that make coding more engaging and personalized, such as this one, I feel that many learners will be discouraged from pursuing these fields. And the solutions in this app are AI assisted lessons, voice code, and the login was to ensure data security. The AI makes it more personalized for each person to person. It's not just a one fits all YouTube tutorial where you have to watch one guy do something where you don't understand what's going on at all. And the voice to code, I implemented that because a lot of the times when I was in robotics, I also had to use my hands to work on the robot, and it just made it a little more convenient to ask it for assistance on code and multitask. Um, Next, the experiments. So as I'm currently not at my main computer right now, all I have is the data for our experiments. The usability scored pretty high, around a 4.3, which means that the interface was very intuitive. And I also had people from the current club this year use it, and they gave similar results. And the satisfaction and usefulness also scored decently high, which meant that there's a lot of benefits and people will most likely continue to use it. The accuracy also scored pretty high at around 3.9, but there's still a lot of room for improvement there. This is the, hold on, this is the table from where we got this information and data. As you can see, it's all pretty good, but I would still like to improve it a good amount. So next is the UI and code. The first image is the login page, and the code there, it displays our process as shown in the table or chart in the first slides. It goes by Firebase and it stores all your information and it's secured from there. And then the next image is the voice control, which took a good amount of time to code and figure out. I also got the idea when I was stumbling across research papers. I came across a research paper from a UCLA professor where they had a robot learn and adapt from voice instruction. But it was a pretty difficult challenge, and I'm really glad that we got it to work well. Uh, then we go on to the learning. This is similar to the messaging, but you can ask it to teach you anything from coding to AI to robotics or anywhere along the lines. And there are different levels for each one, and it will go into different um, deepnesses of each lesson. And we have we're using GPT 4.0, and so far I've gotten pretty good satisfaction from all the people that I've shown it to. Next is the future work that I'd like to add. Like I said, I want to work on the accuracy and AI generation code. At a certain point, I would like to switch to either Claude AI or try and even work on my own. As of right now, the best we can do is put in pre-programmed prompts where it follows instructions, and that did help the accuracy a good amount. As for the strengths, there was high usability and user satisfaction, and this is mostly for like beginner areas of codes, as the title suggests. Um, what I tested it on was basic movement and following a template for robotics, and I taught pretty much the entire current team how to simply tell the robot to move in different directions and program functions. For future work, I do want to expand to different language support because there are obviously other people that have different preferred languages, and it is easier for other people to learn languages than other ones. C++ was pretty difficult to me compared to other ones, but that was what we had to work with because the template. And I would also like to improve code accuracy, which was something that is pretty common from AI code. Um, as of right now, you do need to have a little bit of knowledge on how to fix code or some secondary support. Debugging and support elements, that is what I want to add to fix that. And integration for collaborative features, which would also help learning, and it would also help assist coding. That's it for my presentation. If you guys have any questions, or if you guys would like to see any of the papers that are related to this or the competitions for the robotics team that I've mentioned, I can send links to those through email if you guys personally message me. But that's it.